affects the body in more ways than just negative. I don't get 100% of everything accurate, so if I get something wrong, please tell me. This one's gonna sound a bit crazy, but hear me out. Ether, as shown in Z, has caused many negative ailments to the human body, from sicknesses at lowest to brain-altering effects to at worst, becoming an ethereal. But I have a theory that not all ether effects are negative, and can in fact be beneficial to those that obtain them. We know that the Agents of ZZZ all have high ether aptitude, meaning they can stay a long time in the hollows, from hours to at most, maybe days or even weeks. Those with lower ether aptitudes get corrupted effects, like the previously mentioned sicknesses or becoming an ethereal. However, what about those that obviously have much higher aptitudes, yet still seem almost 100% human? Nothing should happen, right? Well, let's jump over to the Belobog's for a second. We've seen that the three human characters of Belobog, Grace, Anton, and Kalita are very obviously normal people. That makes sense. So how the hell are they doing superhuman feats? I can get characters like Lycaon, Yanagi, Nikomada, Soldier 11, or Jane as their Theron abilities, Oni Blood, Cybernetics, or whatever Soldier 11 and Andy are likely give them a major leg up. But how the hell are the Belobogs doing such insane crap? For instance, Kalita survived not only blocking a giant ether saw, which was shown previously to be able to knock down entire buildings in a single shot, but survived getting launched by it into a massive pile of rubble with barely any damage. Anton almost flipped a construction machine that was charging at him and stopped it dead in its tracks with his bare hands. He even held it back for an extended period of time, only letting go to catch Grace when she fell off the machine. Grace not only can jump 15 to 20 feet in the air casually, but has been shown to dodge both bullets and lasers. She's technically faster than Sonic the Hedgehog with those speeds. And not only that, her throwing arm can have a single grenade of hers go from her hand to an enemy's chest in 0.01 seconds. That's beating the world's fastest fastball threefold. These, if put in the hands of a normal human, would be basically impossible without special equipment. But these guys are doing it like it's a Tuesday. Plus, we've seen that they're 100% human thanks to 1. Their Mindscape cinemas show that they don't have any cybernetics on them. 2. Grace, Anton, and Kalita's gloves show that they don't have any robotic arms or anything, and Grace most certainly has no mechanical legs due to. I think you know what. Plus, they don't have mechanical chassis due to, once again, their mindscapes. Grace in particular was the daughter of 2 hollow researchers who would have needed to go into hollows to do research, and also were stated to go missing and never come back. Very likely they died from ether corruption, as too much ether can give life-threatening diseases and turn you into an ethereal. But how does ether matter into this? Well, as we see in Kalita's description, she's had her growth stunted thanks to ether corruption, but has gained significant strength from it. What if, due to Kalita, Anton, and Grace's higher ether aptitudes compared to other humans, their bodies did technically mutate, but were affected differently by having the ether grant them superhuman abilities? It could also explain how many of the characters are resistant to their own elements, like fire, electricity, and ice, due to all of them being staggeringly close to them at several points, like burn as any of the electric characters. Hell, Grace literally uses grenades that are powered by lightning. And if we go even further, Ju Yuan and Nicole literally fight with ether-powered weapons. They are using basically portable nuclear reactors as a way to delete enemies from existence. But remember, there's a limit to how much ether can be handled. Like when Lucius stabbed Pompey with an ether dagger, crystal, whatever, Pompey held on for a pretty decent while before he mutated. He very likely had a very high ether aptitude, but was injected with such a high dose of it. And in combination with his openly bleeding wound, he would have mutated in, at the very longest, half an hour. As well as Nicole mentioning in Chapter 1 that she and the Cunning Hares would mutate in a couple of hours after staying so long in a hollow. Each character has a limit before they get corrupted. That, or they're the main playable characters, but I thought this would be fun. What are your thoughts? Pretty sure Trigger, the sniper from Soldier 11's squad, is said to have ether corruption in her eyes. Now, while this basically rendered them blind, it also gave them acute awareness of the surrounding area and beyond, to the point where I am pretty sure she snipes without a scope. And as we saw in Soldier 11's story quest, she is very accurate. Abo Squad is the most realistic faction in the game because if the military could, they'd absolutely weaponize any mutation that could be weaponized. Well, you're probably right. Ether gives strength, and your aptitude gives your body ability to withstand this strength. If your limit is exceeded, you will turn into a pretty strong monster. And that also kinda explains why people without aptitude usually just dies from corruption, because their bodies cannot even handle transformation. Didn't Grace's teaser show her letting a machine get slightly corrupted in order to complete the code and get it working? I think they made it pretty clear now that ether is the same as every resource. It has its values, but it's dangerous in large amounts. It's just that ether's effects are much more drastic compared to most things. Not particularly. Corruption isn't the same as exposure to stimulated the system. The purpose of going into the hollow was Grace thought ether stimulation would help stabilize the system. Remember, corruption is something that is always negative, as it means the body or substance is getting converted into etheric material. And once converted, they can't leave the hollow. This has been my headcanon since I started the game. The agents do outrageous shit. Some, like Ben, Ellen, or Lycaon, can be hand-waved by they're in biology. Billy and Sheeny are robots, quite literally built for their job. Made for fighting in a very literal sense. But the humans? No justification given in-game. There's no magic in Z, presumably, and like Up said, they aren't cyborgs. The only explanation left, ether. You never really think about it when you play the game. Most of the times you justify it by, it's a game. Personally, I like when a game does this. Well, you see it's actually because. So I hope the game will delve more into this as it goes. Waiting for playable Ethereal. What do you think about the effect of the ether? Leave a comment. Like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to join our Discord server.